Thank you, Professor Behra. Good evening to all of you. Good afternoon from those who are joining from Europe, and good morning to those who are joining from United States. This is the third major event, as Professor Behra pointed out. The first was by Christian Finan. The second was our colleague, Professor Vinay Srivastav. And this is the third major event. Professor Behra pointed out that the theme of this panel discussion is very contemporary and urgent. But then I think that the question of crisis in anthropology is very, very recurrent. Many of you might have seen the Malinowski's book, Argonauts of the Western Pacific. In the preface itself, he writes that anthropology is in crisis. That was way back in 1922. In 1922, Malinowski perceived that there is something wrong, and then he said that anthropology is sadly ludicrous, not to say it is in a tragic position. Emphasis is given here on the tragic position of anthropology. And he says that there is a problem of objects, there is a problem of methods, and so on and so forth. And in almost regular intervals, many anthropologists have pointed out the same problem in anthropology. I'll take you back to Levi-Strauss. In 1950s, he said, anthropology is very soon going to be doomed. It is very soon going to be doomed to become a discipline without an object. Similarly, in 1995, Shahlin said that anthropology has already reached the twilight of its career, unquote. George Marcus, who started a new revolution in the name of postmodernism, he said that anthropology is dying and we have to save anthropology. Bruce Cafferer, in 2000, he said that anthropology has not only watered down, but has lost its criticality. Clifford Geertz, of course, in 1990s, had expressed his concern by saying that 50 years from now, he had written in 1991, 50 years from now, anthropology departments would be doing different and looking different. So these kinds of concerns have been expressed all over the world, not only in India. But here in our country, we are facing a real crisis situation. For some reason or the other, anthropology is not taking off in this country. It didn't have a good beginning also. All of us know that in 1920s, it had a modest beginning, but then the beginning was also not very bright, very good. And now we are facing a real crisis situation. But then I always believe that wherever there is a crisis, there is an opportunity. So I think this panel discussion with 7 very distinguished anthropologists, those who are having at least 4 decades of experience in the field of anthropology teaching and or research, probably would throw some light. And I think this would be a wonderful contribution to the posterity as to what we are thinking. All of us have put on at least 4 decades of experience, so we know the ins and outs of our own discipline. And if it is in crisis, then how to solve it. If it is not in crisis, then probably how to make the discipline accessible to more people, to more scholars, and to more, government machinery for the purpose of development and all. I don't have to talk about the panelists. Whenever their turn comes, I'll just give a brief introduction about them, maybe a few seconds, because all of them are so distinguished, they need no introduction. The senior most among all the panelists is probably Professor Mutatkar. I think we should start from Professor Mutatkar. And before we start from Professor Mutatkar, we should all wish our friend Vinay Srivastav the best. He has some health issues. I hope he recovers very soon. I, on everybody's behalf, wish him a very speedy recovery. Professor Mutatkar was the first head of the Department of Anthropology and first professor director of Interdisciplinary School of Health Sciences, Savitribai Phule University at Pune. It was earlier known as Pune University, and he was the founder of the Maharashtra Association of Anthropological Sciences in 1976, and his major contribution is to the field of medical anthropology. Of course, he has worked in other areas as well, and he is the first panelist today. We are looking forward to listening to him for about 12-13 minutes about the theme, that is crisis in anthropology and the way forward. Now I hand over the platform to Professor R.K. Mutatkar.
Thank you, Professor Mishra. Honorable members of the registered forum, this session of introspection and brainstorming in the positive spirit, providing examples in the presentations, are not meant as assessment of any institution or scholar. Forum has emerged as a positive step in response to a crisis about a proposed event in 23. INCA had emerged in response to a crisis in Science Congress, marginalizing anthropology. INCA, following the model of yearly Congress, led to positive contribution of knowledge creation by way of books. Are these books referred in our literature review or are listed in our syllabus? The pioneer anthropologists, as Professor Mishra said, discuss the issues of identity of anthropology as per their perspectives and experience. George Foster said that the teachers like Herskovits, Kroeber, Loewy consciously kept the students away from applications. Malinowski advocated practical anthropology. Redfield brought in peasant culture, trade tradition in the context of Indian civilization. What is the popular image of anthropology in India? Is it considered as legacy of colonialism, since it was a compulsory subject at the ICS and subsequently dropped from ICS and again reintroduced as an optional subject due to efforts of Professor L.P. Vidyarthi? Anthropology is not perceived as capable of providing solutions to the concerns of the people or address the development vision articulated during freedom movement. The ethnographic accounts written by scholarly civil servants during British rule was not basic anthropology, but the training manuals for the succeeding civil servants. Queen's proclamation of 1857 had assured the Indian people non-interference in the cultural traditions. Each ethnic group customs had to be documented, so it was applied anthropology for them. Iravati Karve's anthropological analysis of Mahabharata Yugantha by way of presentation of personalities earned her the highest national literary award. Was Deccan College classical anthropology or ethnology with organic relationship with ancient Indian culture, archaeology and linguistics? Why is there E in IUAES? What does it convey? Anthropological Society presented alternative voices in anthropology by way of analyzing Vivekananda, Tagore, Gandhi, Bankim Chandra, Ambedkar, Jyotiba Phule as Golden Jubilee lectures. I spoke on Gandhi, who went native in lifestyle to identify with the common man. This was anthropology as knowledge discipline. Do we discuss this in the classroom or at the PhD? After independence, we were to study ourselves, not others on the islands. Tribal fieldwork was designed as studying others with an alibi to develop objectivity or simple to complex as in biology. When a Bean tribal student walked in my office to join anthropology, he was not interested in the Beer monograph, but in tribal development to play leadership role contesting the elections. With community development in 1952, things changed. Economics, with the assistance of statistics, snatched the initiatives of American and Indian anthropologists about community development programs as a strategy of rural transformation and transformation of man. So what are the crises at our doorstep? The phenomenal quantitative growth of higher education was not meant for acquiring knowledge, but for acquiring jobs and livelihood. An old, half-naked tribal person exclaims, education is agriculture, शिक्षा उसकी खेती है. Why people clamor for reservation, competition and agitation to be labeled as backward as per constitutional category? Our anthropological expertise is sought to adjudicate in such matters since this expertise is respected by the judiciary. The students are no more opting for anthropology except those who want to compete for civil service examination. However, the students are also not opting for basic sciences at the postgraduate level except those who want to go for research degree. There would be variations across the country in this scenario. How do we equip with skills for gainful livelihood with anthropology degree? Introducing anthropology at school level is not a solution for jobs, save as school teachers. Can anthropology be a vertical discipline? Since the times of pioneers, anthropology is opted by destiny than by design. I strayed into anthropology with economics, political science and geography at graduation. I was trained at Sagar in the first batch of Professor H. Dubey. He personally taught research methods and applied anthropology. We had no tribal fever but rural dissertation linked to community development. Though selected in the first batch of UGC KRF, I joined Pune University as faculty in 1960, located at the Deccan College with Iravati Karve. She, as a classical anthropologist, had very close relationship with archaeology, going for excavations, and with linguistics. She went to the field for biological anthropology and walked with the masses for 15 days from Pune to Pandharpur Vithoba, the presiding deity of Maharashtra. She did not write any tribal or village monograph, but dealt with kinship, going into the origins and linkage with Mahabharata, which could be branded as ethnology. I was drafted by her for guest lectures at the Preventive Social Medicine Department of Armed Forces Medical College in 1963 due to my background of applied anthropology, followed by Civilian BA Medical College, since the institutions were affiliated to Pune University with formal notifications from Defence Ministry and Maharashtra government. This led to medical anthropology, combining biological and sociocultural anthropology. The post-Congress symposium of ICAES on medical anthropology at Pune in 1978, participated by Professor P. C. Joshi and H. K. Bhatt, provided international credibility. These developments led to socio-cultural wing of leprosy at WH Geneva, Socio-Behavioral Research Division at ICMR, Ayush in Public Health in Ayush Ministry, and now naturopathy with linkage with Gandhi, and since tribe and nature are inseparable. It provided some anthropology employment at higher level and temporary assignments in research projects. In popular understanding, anthropology is understood as study of human origins and institutions such as caste and about tribal communities. At some places, we have good linkage with TRTI, Tribal Research Institute. However, TRTI as an affiliate body of tribe certification necessary for reservation, other research has almost disappeared, at least in Maharashtra. We are invited as experts to study and make recommendations if ethnic groups claim ST status. Universities and colleges have been established in tribe-dominant districts with non-tribal faculty and largely tribal students. But they do not favor anthropology department with the view that the biological anthropologists heading the department would not be interested in tribal development issues. The Regional Research Center of ICMR at Jabalpur, meant for tribal health, has been studying the molecular biological issues of malaria. Regional Center of ICMR at Bhubaneswar has recently opened field stations in tribal block at Raigada. I do not know about their interaction with the University Department of Anthropology. Do we know that a lot of money from the tribal department goes to ICMR, ICSSR and such other bodies? Do they justify these grants? ICSSR was established in 1969 with its first review in 1973. Anthropology panel under the chairmanship of Professor L.P. Vidyarthi recommended poverty as a priority research area. However, we have considered poverty as an economic issue and health as a medical issue. Why is poverty a group level phenomenon? Why tribal revenue units as district or tehsil should be at the lowest rung of human development scale as per the government reports over the decades, despite tribal supplant with crores of rupees of outlay? Who can study, analyze and find an answer to these questions? Do our students know of TSP, ITDP, TESA, FRA and such things? Tribal administration follows the revenue model of a revenue clerk, Patwari, looking after 3-4 villages. In the development model of Jila Parishad, the Secretary of Gram Panchayat looks after group Gram Panchayat while the people live in hamlets. Can Gram Sabha with PESA rights function in this model? There is 50% reservation for women in Panchayat Raj. There are CBOs, community-based organizations such as Mahila Mandals, self-help groups. How do they function? Are these not our research issues? I keep on shouting at every government meeting to address these women. At Pune, due to stifling in the combined department of sociology and anthropology, we floated a voluntary organization as mentioned by Professor Mishra, Maharashtra Association of Anthropological Sciences in 1976, open to all interested in human issues, while the separation occurred of the department in 1977. Tribal activists flocked to charge their knowledge batteries, as they said. Forest department was interested to understand the tribal issues. Preventive social medicine people were interested in public health issues. So they came to us. We were offered a rupees 10 crore project on tribal malnutrition for 5 years in response to suo motu injunction of Bombay High Court on tribal malnutrition. Although an intervention project, it was based on the holistic strategy of anthropology administered by village volunteers, thus empowering them. Again 10 crores have been offered, but we are inefficient in managing the kickbacks. Ayush Ministry offered a 3 crore project to study health ethnography in 4 states, followed by Center of Excellence Ayush in Public Health. Books have documented both the projects. A Ford Foundation project to study sexuality in the context of HIV/AIDS for research capacity building by offering 18 small projects to young researchers was undertaken with qualitative methodology, but the books are not referred in our department. What is referred are the Google search options for research topics and literature reviews. What are our research priorities? Anthropology departments across the country are identified as biological strong or socio-cultural strong, with examples of breaking anthropology departments in separate biological and socio-cultural departments. Some of us from the UGC side pressurize the universities with punitive action holding back funding if they wanted to separate. Anthropological Survey of India has been looked upon as an apex body of anthropological research and visualized as a role model, but there is no structural functional relationship in anthropology departments. Anthropological Survey of India had no regular director for a long time. However, the module of social impact assessment or project about re-study of village studies or about the most marginalized VJMT have been laudable. There is no reason why Anthropological Survey of India should not be a university by itself or an institution of national importance by an act of parliament. I do not know how the Culture Ministry and Tribal Affairs Ministry perceive anthropology. The directors of survey and IGRMS have experience of their perception and expectation. We do not yet have a national tribal policy approved by the parliament. When we think of jobs, anthropology can get jobs in collaboration with institutions dealing with priority issues about agriculture, health, development, rehabilitation. Who would study farmer suicide? I was laughed at while dealing with leprosy or with Ayush as being social work. But the WHO objectives of leprosy control and of the International Leprosy Organization have undergone change from patient to people. However, we seek funding from ICSSR to study an outdated leprosy colony as a leprosy village. How does it contribute to leprosy control? We are asked to evaluate National Leprosy Eradication Program visiting the field. Medical people go to hospitals, we go to the people in the villages or to panchayat leaders. Anthropology has significant data on ethnomedicine. Government policies are out to fill local traditions. Two of our students at master's or research level take up the studies on policy issues. Have we analyzed government committee reports which rich data on various issues which are our subject matter? My experience is we have to get trashing and offer help. Once they realize our capacity, they are after us. Some NGO fellows, after attending small workshops abroad, masquerade as anthropologists and interact with government administration for funding. A word on quantitative methods. Apex statistical body, International Institution of Population Sciences, Mumbai, declared low fertility in Goa, prompting the Minister of Health as chairman of governing body to follow the Goa model to solve population problem of India. IIPS knew the numbers, but not where those numbers came from. Why age at marriage of girls was high? Why the girls went for education? What were the Portuguese property rules in favor of women and recruitment as Christian clergy? Goa statistics comparable to Portugal or other Portuguese colonies, etc. These questions IIPS did not know. We designed the Goa qualitative study under the supervision of an anthropology student. We have several examples of this type. Our other senior colleagues would also have such experiences, but they do not get incorporated in our curriculum, and we do not expand our concept of holism. I can only conclude that the forum is the right platform to address these issues. We cannot discuss everything in a short time. This is just the beginning, and a good beginning. We should try to develop Indian anthropology as a professional discipline, which as a knowledge discipline is people-centric and humane. Professor K.K. Mishra himself has written about paradigm shift in the Inca book. Let us think of that. As we see, Indian Election Commission is far more superior to American Election Commission. Why can't Indian anthropology be superior? Our image as anti-development has to be obliterated, and the future is ours. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mutatkar. Thank you for two reasons. Number one, for the very scholarly talk, and the second one is keeping the time as you promised. You keep it within 10 to 12 minutes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, I have the pleasure of inviting Professor P.C. Joshi, and now his only qualification is he is the Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, occupying such a prestigious position, and a Professor of Anthropology at Delhi University for long years. Professor Joshi, please.
Thank you very much. Good evening to all, and maybe good morning and good afternoon to some. Now, listening to Professor Mutatkar is always a pleasure. And today's topic is a very, I would say, very important topic in the sense that anthropology, which I think has been perennially under crisis. And time and again, I think anthropologists have been meeting and discussing. So I think this is ingrained in the subject itself. I think anthropology is a very critical subject, self-critical. Of all the subjects, anthropology is perhaps most aware about its weaknesses, or at least tries to debate its weaknesses. I remember in 1982, 38 years ago from today, in Delhi University, we were running a journal called Spectra of Anthropological Progress. And some of you must have heard of that debate that the debate was again on crisis in anthropology. Much before that, I think Professor Mutatkar's teacher was there, Iravati Karveji. In 1967, there was a summer school in Dalhousie, where I think all the top anthropologists of India met for 3 weeks, and they stayed there for 3 weeks and debated on various topics. And of course, they also talked about crisis in anthropology. And as Professor Mishra has told us about, right from Malinowski to Levi-Strauss. So I'll be more focusing upon what is the crisis and the topic is. contemporary crisis in Indian anthropology. I'll be talking about Indian anthropology more than anything else. Now, Indian anthropology, there are two, I think, regions, primarily two regions that I can identify. Of course, there are many more regions. First, I think, is our colonial baggage, that we are carrying. Anthropology, because it goes very deep into the private lives of people, very deep understanding of their nuances of their culture, becomes a very, very, I think, dangerous knowledge as well, because this knowledge can then be used to subjugate people, to exploit people, to use people. In fact, American Anthropological Association have been very vocal about this misuse of anthropological knowledge, and we all know how anthropological knowledge was used in Iraq War, in Vietnam War, and also the human terrain, which was in Afghanistan. Anthropologists were hired, they were paid very heavily, and then they were asked to give us culture brokerages or tell about the culture. So anthropological knowledge, because this knowledge is about how people behave in natural conditions, can be misused, has been misused, and that is one of the reasons why anthropology is not liked in many countries. In Africa, in most of the countries which have become independent out of colonial power, anthropology is not much appreciated. Not that anthropology has something wrong, because it has excellent methods. Second, I think the reason which I think Professor Mutadkar has always been telling us is our subject of study. We study, marginalized communities. We study tribals, we study Dalits, we study people who are have-nots. So we don't study the glamorous part of the society. We study pain, we study suffering, we study exploitations, and nobody likes that. Professor Mutadkar, I remember saying that even the Ministry of Tribal Affairs is like a marginalized ministry, although it has almost equal budget to the Ministry of Social Justice, but it is a marginalized ministry. In states also, the Minister of Tribal Affairs is a very insignificant person. I think that goes to our subject as well, because we study these people, we study the people who are marginalized. So therefore, people are not very much interested. It doesn't concern them, it concerns others. And anthropologists study others. So for the people who matter, because we study others, that could also be one of the reasons why anthropology, is in crisis or is not very popular. Look at sociology and anthropology in India. I think sociology and anthropology had the same founding fathers. They were taught by the same W.H.R. Rivers, the founding fathers. And I think in India, it has been a lot debated that Indian sociology is nothing but social anthropology, or the methods of sociology are nothing but social anthropological methods. But then again, why sociologists have become so popular and why anthropologists have not become so popular, again, the reasons are for us to investigate. And one of the reasons to my mind is because they also study maybe modern societies, the urban societies, the industrial societies, or the so-called other kind of societies. And we generally are labeled as, although we don't only study tribal society, we're labeled as people studying tribals and Dalits, and that could be also one of the reasons for our this. And then secondly, now let us talk about teaching of anthropology, because that is also very much across India we know that it is not taught in all the states of India, and I was particularly concerned about it. I must confess that I wrote once I became very much interested in writing to the vice chancellors. So I remember writing to 5 vice chancellors in Kashmir, because in Kashmir there is no anthropology, to the vice chancellors in Central University of Himachal Pradesh, to the vice chancellor, Lama was there in Sikkim, and to also the vice chancellor in Odisha. And I wrote to them why they should have anthropology subject. And I think I'm glad to tell you that today now, at least Kashmir, we have anthropology, because it was not there at all. Now in Kashmir we have anthropology in the colleges, and also Central University of Kashmir is looking for anthropologists. So this is, I think, this is one that anthropology is not there in, still it is, I think it is not there in Gujarat, if I'm not mistaken, because it's there in Vidyapit, but not as a department of anthropology. It is not there in Himachal. It is not there in Tripura. So there are many places where anthropology doesn't exist, and I think, and if we are concerned about anthropology, if you think anthropology is a very important subject, then we should think about it, and all of us. And I think this forum is a great thing that has come up, which is precisely going to look at these kind of issues, rather than other issues are taken care of by other associations. But I think this forum is going to precisely look at the issues which are not covered by other. And I think one of the very prominent issues that we are going to look at is advocacy. I remember, when ICMR, removed anthropology, every one of us became very agitated, and we had a lot of discussion, debates. And now I'm glad to share with you that the DG says, though, this was a very temporary thing. It is not going to be a permanent thing. We are going to correct it. So I think these are the kind of things. Then anthropology needs to be not only there in every state. Anthropology needs to be there in the colleges, because generally it is there in the university department. So from the department should go to affiliated colleges. And thirdly, I think anthropology, knowledge of anthropology, because anthropology, is not only a subject. I think it's also a philosophy. It's also a way of looking at the life. And I think that way of looking at the life, which anthropology is, I am convinced of that, which is more inclusive way of looking at life, inclusive way of looking at the humanities. This should be, I think, taught right from the beginning, right from the time a child starts growing up, it starts having those seeds of intellectualism in him or her. I think anthropological knowledge, anthropological perspective should be there. So that is why I think it's very important, and I think forum should also take this up, is that anthropology should go to the schools. Of course, it is there in one or two places. I know Gregory Saab is here, who has done a great job in bringing it in Kerala. It is there in Assam. It is there in Odisha, or maybe West Bengal to some extent. But it should be part of the school curriculum as well, not because anthropology is a subject we like, but anthropological perspective, or the philosophy behind anthropology, or the inclusive idea of the word that anthropology, very forcefully puts across, should be there in the school curriculum also. So forum, I think the way forward, if you are talking about, this is one of the very important agenda. We must not take rest until and unless it is part of every college, it is part of every school in India. So we must try those sides. Then anthropology and civil services is another topic which is again linked to the crisis of anthropology. So sometimes, we get into civil services in a very big way, and then we are, removed. So something is happening to IAS as well now. But I just would like to share with you one very interesting fact, And there was a news item in Kashmir. And the news item was saying, and I'm talking that news came when Kashmir, there was no anthropology at all. And the news item in Kashmir was saying that Kashmir Administrative Service should be renamed as Kashmir Anthropological Service. Why? Because 90% of the people, those who are qualifying and civil services in Kashmir, were coming from anthropology. So anthropology and civil services are very, integral part of each other. And I think we should be very, very, I think we are not very concerned about it. We are not very vocal about it. I think anthropologists in India, in the forum particularly, should be very, very vocal, should be always interested that civil services everywhere, whether the state PCS or the national, anthropology subject should be there. Because there are always forces which are trying to remove this subject. And time and again, I remember Vidyarthi Saab played a very, very important role in bringing it in. But then later on, I was told that the subject or the syllabus of anthropology was made very, very complicated. I think that there also we need to, as a forum, we need to think about what should the right approach and how we can do about it. Now in South India particularly, like when we are talking of crisis, I think I must highlight that there is a problem in South India. And this problem we must acknowledge. Problem at Tirupati, problem at Visakhapatnam, problem at Madras, problem at Dharwad, and also problem at Mysore. There is a big problem as far as the anthropology departments are concerned. There are no students coming there. Now, what are the reasons? One of the reasons for why students are not coming up perhaps has to do with sudden, mushrooming of medical and engineering colleges, where most of the students are private engineering and medical colleges. So many people are going there, and they became the subject of choice. But secondly, I think there is something wrong at the level of the university administration as well, or the state administration as well. Perhaps the teaching positions have not been filled there. There are very skeletal staff that is teaching, and therefore they are not able to attract people. Tirupati at one point was a very vibrant department, and Visakhapatnam was Gola Reddy and others, very vibrant department. And Dharwad was a very vibrant. You had T.N. Madan and Gopal Sarna teaching there. So all these departments were very, very vibrant departments. Now they are declining. And I think as a forum, we must understand, we must try to revive those departments, try to do something so that these departments are also able to. And this is also true of in many other places. Now, what is happening in these South Indian departments? Perhaps there is a lack of, college teaching anthropology. There is lack of maybe schools teaching anthropology. So there is no base from where the raw material may come. So that could be one of the reasons why it is happening. So we have to think about it. Ultimately, I think we must remember there are some weaknesses that we have, but we have some very, very good, I think, strength with us. And our strength is one of the very good strength, of course, is our perspective, where we are very open. I think we are very critical in our approach to looking at the truth. And our truth comes out of our own personal, experiencing the truth through ethnographic methods. I think that's that single most great character of anthropology, which has made it very popular across disciplines, across sociology, medical sciences. Anthropological ethnographic approach is considered to be very, very important. So our methodology is very unique, and this methodology has been adopted. I must tell you that there are many subjects which are mushrooming in India. Many departments are coming. After what are those departments? What is Department of Tribal Studies? How can you have a tribal studies department as not an anthropology department? What would you have in a tribal studies department if not anthropology? Then what is cultural studies? There are now cultural studies department which are coming up. They have nothing but anthropology. Now, I remember, way back in Patiala, I don't know what was the region, they started with a human biology department. They had an anthropology department and named it as human biology department. And I.G.S. Bansal was the head of that department, and L.S. Sidhu, who were both anthropologists, they started having those departments. But what happens? Now, these departments turn into big crisis because Anthropological Survey of India would not take them. Because Anthropological Survey of India can take only anthropologists with cultural anthropology or biology or physical anthropology specializations. So they had a lot of problems. Now they have changed it to Human Genetics Department. Okay. Now in Patiala, at that time, I remember somebody opened a department called Department of Anthropological Linguistics. Mishra Sahab, you must know this. They had a department called Department of Anthropological Linguistics. I think that was a solitary department of anthropological linguistics in Asia, and I think even in the world. So why should we have that? Then we have, in Ghasiram, Guru Ghasiram University, Department of Social Anthropology and Tribal Studies. Now, where will these students go? This is a big problem. In many places we had, in Allahabad, we had a Department of Social Anthropology and Sociology. Sai Saab is here. He will actually verify that. So, this is what is happening in many places. Anthropology is being they are starting anthropology with a truncated approach, with a, anthropology without the body or anthropology without the head, and they are starting it. Now, this is something I think forum should be there to advise them that anthropology is a unifying department. There is no meaning of physical anthropology if there is no culture. I am telling you, if there is no cultural anthropology. Physical anthropology alone will become a second-rate medical science and nothing else. It is only physical anthropology which is having a union with social anthropology, cultural anthropology, that it will become a meaningful anthropological thing. Similarly, social anthropology without biological anthropology will become a very second-rate social science, not be anthropology. For it to be an anthropology, biological and archaeological aspects need to be, united with it. Then only the meaningful questions can be asked by social anthropologists. So I am firmly of this view that anthropology has its own path to carry, and we are now becoming super specialized. But by becoming super specialized, actually what is happening in the process, that we are not publishing in anthropological journals, we are publishing journals in other subjects. And no matter how much we work in other subjects, we'll be always a second-rate other subject. We can't be first-rate other subject. That is for sure. So in their journals, we will be again second position people. So let's have anthropology. Let's try to have anthropology. Let's have anthropological questions. Let us pursue anthropological questions in anthropological perspective rather than in a perspective of some other subjects. Of course, anthropology is a very inclusive subject in the sense that anthropology, for answering its questions, can freely take from other subjects. That's not anthropology never bars that we should only stick.
There was some temporary dislocation.
I think so, sir.
Thank you, Professor Joshi, in absentia, for this wonderful deliberation. And you have really pointed out some very important issues. While I'll sum up, then I'll tell you all those things.